Hello. Every now and then I think about my Jewish ancestry. I'm not religious in any direction, and I don't think my ancestors were particularly either. But being Jewish isn't just a religious thing. There is Judaism, but otherwise it's a racial thing, especially to anti-Semites who seem to see something horrible about us. um, we're guilty for all kinds of reasons, both for creating capitalism and running it with banks, apparently, and also for destroying capitalism with socialism and communism. So we can't win in either direction. And as we know, anti-Semitism is on the rise, and perhaps it's a good time to look back. But all I can think of is my mother's grandparents on both sides of her family who were taken and killed by the Nazis. Fortunately, at least as far as I'm concerned, not before they'd each had children, my grandfather and my grandmother, and hence I'm alive. I think back on them just crowded into a terrible ghetto in Vienna at first, in the case of my mother's grandparents, Shmuel and Rosa, and then taken off to the death camp, hugging each other. Just ordinary people, nothing special about them. Except to an anti-Semite, they were special because they had some strange property that meant they should be killed. It seems almost incomprehensible, and yet it's so alive, this hatred. Not just of Jews, but choose your hate group and ramp up the language against them and ramp up the threat that they pose. The conspiracy theories will abound everywhere, and some people will be mad enough to think that therefore they should repeat the horror, maybe just as an individual rather than as a whole Nazi regime. They go in search of their enemy and they beat them, and there's blood on the pavements and there's tears and there's upset for no reason. It seems incredible, and yet we have to remember. And Holocaust Memorial Day is a very good way of remembering, not just the Jews, not just those like the homosexuals and the gypsies and the Jehovah's Witnesses and the many others who suffered at the hands of Nazi murder and atrocity. But to remember all those in the world who are made to feel victims and made to feel second class, third class, made to feel subhuman by some mad view of what humans are. So join me in remembering and visiting hmd.org.uk, holocaustmemorialday.org.uk, and seeing what you can do to help keep alive the idea that we're all human beings. It seems extraordinary to have to say it, and yet, as we know, we do need